was lost.
I was lost.
The losing dice were tossed.
They were tossed.
My bridges all were crossed. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Now you're here.
You're here.
And now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. I found my way. For love came just in time. You found me just in time.
Just in time.
And changed my lonely life that lovely day.
How about you?
I was lost.
I was lost.
The losing dice were tossed.
They were tossed.
My bridges all were crossed. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Now you're here.
You're here.
And now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. I found my way. For love came just in time. You found me just in time.
Just in time.
And changed my lonely life that lovely day. You changed my lonely life that lovely day.
Thank you.
The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you haunt my dreams, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away from me.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you were able to make it to Andrew's 80th birthday celebration. Everybody who's here is dear to Andrew, and am happy to welcome you. We're going to have a little bit of a program now, and after the program, we'll have cake and coffee and sing happy birthday. Right now, I'd like to just do a toast to Andrew on his 80th birthday, whatever liquid you want. Anybody want to do the toast besides to Andrew's health, happiness, and many more years in this Lake Park place and with the people that he loves. Here's L'chaim, and I'll say, this is a prayer we say in Hebrew, Shehechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh, which means we give thanks for having reached this day. Thank you. So what I'd like to say is how I wish in many ways I was more like Andrew. He has a lot of strength and fortitude in meeting life's challenges. When I met him, he was 23 years old and had just come back from 2 years in Peace Corps on the high plains of Bolivia at 14,000 feet. No running water, no electricity, no telephones, no bathrooms, no paved roads. And he landed there at a tribe of Aymara Indians who didn't know any Spanish. The Peace Corps had taught him Spanish, but he didn't know their language. Within that period of time, he got very sick several times, nearly died, spent a month in a hospital in La Paz, recovering, and he went back, and he went back, and he went back, and he completed his 2 years. Wow. And that's the person that I married, and that strength and fortitude and courage I wish I had more of, because now with his MS, and some of you may know, he's having radiation treatments for a stage 1 lymphoma, and he's in the middle of getting those treatments daily, and fortunately it was caught early and it's going to be totally eradicated. But all of you know, as you get older, we need the strength and fortitude and courage to meet those life's challenges, and fortunately he's got that. Another thing I wish I had more of was his positive attitude and optimism. I tend to be the pessimist, worry about what's coming next. He always sees the glass half full, where I might see it half empty. I wish I could be more like that. Thirdly, his sense of humor. He can make me laugh, he makes other people laugh. I take things way too seriously, I know that. So I wish I had more of his ability to laugh and make fun of things that happen and keep going. Another thing I wish I had more of is his musical ability. I play minimal piano and accompany him on his trumpet occasionally. He's a very good trumpeter, and you'll hear a little bit as part of the program. He'll play with Bob and Catherine. Whatever he does well. He doesn't just do it a little. He goes all the way to do it well. And Bob, who's on the piano here, is also constantly playing other instruments. He's now a trombonist, and he and Andrew go every Tuesday night to the Alameda Community Band, and Bob takes Andrew, which is very helpful. He helps him with the trumpet, helps him with the rollator, and they also duet here in our building once a week, trombone trumpet duets. We've also met a guy in Lake Park who is a wonderful clarinetist. He used to play, what band or orchestra did he used to play with?
California Chamber Music.
California Chamber Music. And he and Andrew come up to this room and play clarinet trumpet duets occasionally. So my little piano, which I started in 3rd grade and went through 8th grade, it's just minimal. I never pursued it to get really good at it. Finally, Andrew is semi-retired professor. Amazingly, at 80, he's doing so much professionally, and he loves it. So, for instance, he's currently working on writing a new book with 5 international colleagues, The Wonders of Zoom. One is based in Turkey, in Istanbul at a university. Another, let me see if I can get these. Another Turkish colleague who's at Reading University in the UK, an Iranian colleague who's at Texas A&M University, an Italian professor at the University of Padua, Italy, and a Chinese colleague at Johns Hopkins. And they are writing a book together over Zoom. And unlike edited volumes where everybody takes a chapter, they're combining their themes and writing it together. And he's very excited to be presenting about this book in Houston next month at their annual conference. So that's wonderful. He's also been giving He's been giving 4 talks a year, 2 at UC Berkeley and at USF, at the invitation of one of our guests who's here. Zelia, please stand up. She has invited him to talk in her classes, and she picks him up and takes him to San Francisco. They get to have lunch or dinner, whatever. And it's been a wonderful relationship and mutual, I think. He has he gets requests all the time from publishers to review book manuscripts, peer review articles. Universities worldwide ask him to review faculty members for promotion. For the past 12 years, he's been working on Mandarin Chinese, improving it via Zoom with a Chinese colleague who's the head of the English as a Second Language department at the University of Edinburgh, Scotland, Isabel Wang. And he writes in Mandarin using Romance characters. He has not learned the Chinese characters. But they've also done research projects together and published articles on strategies for learning languages. This book that he's working on now will be his 23rd. He has authored, co-authored, or co-edited 22 books, many hundreds of articles. And Mandarin is the 13th language he's studied, and he loves to continue studying languages because it helps to remind him how hard language learning is. And he keeps his brain. It's good for the brain, right? Yesterday, our daughter Judy showed us a wonderful video she had put together. And many of you contributed to that video, but it's an hour long, put together with, it's wonderful, but we didn't want to show it here because it would take too long. But I wanted to give people an opportunity to come up and say something. If you wanted to say something to Andrew, I'd like to give priority to the people who weren't in the video. So we'll start with them. Can I see a show of hands? Many of you were in the video. Are there people who weren't in the video who would like to say something? Please raise your hand.
I have known Andrew since he was Andy. So we go back a long ways. Stephen, who I was sitting next to at the table, actually knew him from the time when they were in Andover. So he actually takes the record here. Andrew has been such a good friend and colleague over the years. We've worked together. We've known each other since graduate school at Stanford, when, there were times when things were kind of low in my life, but Andrew was always there to cheer me up. And he and Sabina were such great friends. They would take my son, who was at that time 10 years old, to ball games.
Vida Blue.
And they cheered Vida Blue, who was a baseball player.
Pitcher.
Excuse me. I was not into sports. I didn't know anything about them. I knew about language, but not the way Andrew did. No, you've been a great friend, a great colleague. I've admired you from afar when you were gone off to Israel to teach. You were at UCLA, then Hebrew University, and then Minnesota, yeah. And then now back here. So happy birthday, Andrew.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your friendship, a lifetime of friendship.
I want to reiterate something that Sabina was talking about. Andrew amazes me. Andrew and Sabina came to the Bay Area, 10 years ago? About? And it seems like within about a week and a half, he was as active a member of Temple Sinai as anyone else I know. I know Andrew from the book club, and as well as other activities at Temple Sinai. And notwithstanding the fact that Andrew has MS, he doesn't seem to let anything stand in his way. I'm not sure that I could keep moving at the pace that Andrew moves, or be engaged in half of the activities that he seems to be involved in, were I in his shoes. And he always does it with a smile on his face and wanting to engage with lots of other people, and he's just remarkable. So, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Well, we are very fortunate that Andrew and Sabina joined a long-standing Havurah that we were in, so we got to meet them very shortly after they moved to the Bay Area. And I've always been grateful to Andrew for speaking French to me, coming up to me and making me do what I might not. I think my French is better because of Andrew. I haven't been traveling this last 5 years, and I don't think I would have taken on these opportunities. And I like to learn languages. I'm not a polyglot, but I know 3 or 4. And when I needed advice about which program to go to, I asked Andrew, and I took on improving my Spanish. And I really appreciate the enthusiasm with which he approaches everything he does. And I see the same enthusiasm for you music lovers with instrument players, which I'm not really, but I can see that, and it's contagious. Thank you.
And I think it was shortly after Andrew and Sabina moved into Oakland. I was at Temple Sinai one evening, and I heard Andrew, who I had met but didn't know very well, say very loudly, "Nobody will walk with me because I'm too slow." And I said, after being a long distance runner, I had slowed greatly down. And I said, "I found the perfect walking partner." So Andrew and I have been walking every Thursday for many years, and Fred Isaacs joined us, and so the 3 of us walk every Thursday afternoon. I am not the great conversationalist, but no one has to worry about being a conversationalist when you're walking with Andrew. So it's been a great Thursday walk for many years. Thank you, Andrew.
Birthday, Andrew. I must be one of the newest friends. I think we only go back about 3 years or so. Sorry. I believe that you have enriched our lives. I think everybody here is saying that. And we feel lucky that you are our friend. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Andrew. An understatement. We moved, my husband and I moved to Oakland at about the same time you and Sabina did. You were just a little bit ahead of us, and for some of the same reasons. And when we met, we became friends, but even before that, you were so generous when I called you and I said, you know, my husband's very shy and he really could use a book group, and boy, you were right on it. And he, you know, as long as he was able to do it, he really enjoyed doing it with you. And then we did the film group and all kinds of things, and Sabina and I got to share other things. It was really very nice. And you are an inspiration to everybody. You know that. It's, you've got the attitude, you've got the smile, you've got the caring. And I don't think anybody can ask to be anything more than that in this world. So you're really special. And what's more, you're younger than I am by at least 5 weeks. Happy birthday, and many, many more.
Okay, well, joyeux anniversaire. I'm French, so I have been speaking with Andrew in French for 10 years. So I would like to say that the most beautiful memory that I have of you and Sabina is that you invited us when we moved to California 10 years ago to celebrate Christmas with my children. And that was our first Christmas in the US. We were coming from Norway. And Andrew, you took your guitar and started singing with my children. My daughter was 11, and they still remember you and they adore you. And one of my sons now is 10 years older, 26. He doesn't play guitar anymore, but he really enjoys meeting you. And we started as colleagues. We met at UC Berkeley at a birthday party of our colleague. And then Andrew became my guest speaker at Berkeley and USF. And my students adore you. They talk about you all the time. They love your writing. And they always tell me that you answer to the email promptly. And what a joy. I'm so happy I met you both. And you've been a joy. I know you wrote a book of being a joyful teacher, or the joy of being a teacher. And when I saw the balloon, the best teacher ever, it's you, Andrew. You are the best teacher. And as a teacher, I love teachers. So it's a great honor to work with you, to be friend with you and Sabina, and to meet your children and grandchildren today. What an honor. And happy birthday, joyeux anniversaire. Merci.
Oh, you want to do? Then bring me the clipboard because I have some notes here.
There you go.
Okay, wait a second. Let me get them around so I can see it. One of the great things about being in this community, Lake Park. Yeah, I'll get it. Sure. Okay. One of the great things about being in Lake Park is with my rollator, I fit right in. About half of the community uses some mobile device for walking, so I don't feel self-conscious at all. It's just remarkable, you know? And it's a real pleasure. In fact, I'm delighted that we could have this up here, up on this floor, so you can experience the environment we have all the time. We're down at the end of this wing looking at the lake. So every morning we wake up, it's so pleasant with the birds and with the mountains. And it's such a welcoming community. We just love it. We love the people in the community, and we love the staff. You got the people dressed in black who are staff members, including the director of the entire operation here. She was one of the servers and so forth, you know. It's really beautiful. Okay. So first, I want to acknowledge my family. I'm so delighted they're here. My wife, Sabina, and I will be married. It's going to be 56 years. And it was love at first sight. We courted for 17 days, and then we were engaged. And then we delayed our marriage because her mother wanted a Brooklyn wedding. So we waited till the end of the semester in March and went back to Brooklyn for the wedding. But it's been many years. And at the end of my remarks, I'm going to join the band here to do a couple of songs from the courtship period. Judy and family are here locally. There's our daughter Judy and her husband Matt and Flo. And then the three boys, we have Julius and Nathaniel and Jonathan. And they are local. And it was Judy who really masterminded this lovely video. That's why I want to have the link. I'll let you have access to it because it's very special. And Matt's parents, here we have John and Sandy, who straddle between the LA area, Newport Beach, and a lovely home up here in the hills. And we wish to thank you for all your hospitality. They've been amazing hosts. As a family, we've had so many celebrations together, Thanksgivings and other holidays, and it is such a joy to feel part of, to be accepted by you and feel part of your family. And Daniel and Sylvia, where are you guys? There's Sylvia. Is Daniel here? And then the boys. We have Alex and there's Leo and Annabelle. Yeah, you guys. And Annabelle and our son Daniel and our daughter-in-law Sylvia. Thank you so much for being here. And my dad's Indianapolis family has a West Coast rep, which is Jeff Fisher and his wife Edie. There you guys. Yeah. So I'm so glad they live in San Jose. And they have 3 kids. In fact, you have a daughter in Boston, don't you? Daughter and son-in-law. Yeah, which is wonderful too. And then my deceased sister's family is represented by Justin and Katie. Where are you guys? And Josie. So, yeah. Thank you so much for coming. They're coming from Sacramento. And Steve Most was always pointed out, where there's Steve, who's the person who knows me the longest here in the room. And we Zoom now. We have class Zooming sessions every, 2 months, so that's wonderful to stay in touch. And Lily Fillmore, you've already heard from. We taught undergraduates together while in graduate school, so that was the first teaching I did, and it was Lily. I mean, she had been teaching, you've been teaching for years, hadn't you? It was helpful. To me, she knew. I said, what do we do now? What do we do now? We got funding from the Ford Foundation to teach kids who had trouble reading, who were at a 3rd grade reading level, but they were in 12th grade. So we got materials, easy reading materials. And we're working with Mexican American, tutoring their own, African American blacks tutoring their own, and American Indians. Stanford had a huge undergraduate group of American Indians, Native Americans, and we had them tutoring them. And I learned a lot with and from Lily. Roy and Carol Blitzer, where are you guys? Okay. Roy and Carol, we met singing in a choir in Los Altos Hills at a synagogue. And that was back in our Stanford days. What we used to do, sort of like the old Grouchy, the guys now, you remember in the Muppets where those people died in the balcony? We would sit in the balcony of Svensson's and watch the people go by in Palo Alto, remember? And we'd eat ice cream. That was during our graduate years. That was my most poignant memory, and we had a lot of good fun, and we continue to be very much in touch and good friends. And they acted as surrogate parents to Judy when we were in Israel. They were looking after her, which is we were so thankful for, and they've been an important part of our life. Ron Bachman got up and told you about his walking with me. Sue and Ron are coming into this community on March 6th, right? So this is special that we'll have actual friends that we can have regular meals with and stuff and be involved in activities with. Zelia already introduced herself to you, and that's special for me. Melody, there's Melody. Melody and I are a permanent fixture in the carnivorous plant exhibit at a Catholic high school in Alameda. We are now going into our 3rd show. We get an hour slot and we play trumpet duets, and then we got ourselves a drummer as well. And as recompense, we get to take home a carnivorous plant. And so 2 years ago, I got one that had munched on 6 flies. And I said to Sabina, where will we have it in our home? She said, we won't have it in our home. So we gave it away. I gave it to Evie, and you gave it to a friend. And then this last year we had a different plant, and also a carnivore. Can you imagine 800 people come to that exhibit either to buy or sell these plants? It's remarkable, isn't it? So Melody and I have been playing trumpet together for many years. We played in a band which went defunct with the pandemic. Right now we're playing together in the Alameda Community Band that Bob also plays trombone in, and you helped to found that band, didn't you, about 35 years ago?
Yeah, I'm the oldest member in there right now since 1974.
Wow, since 1974. And we're playing at the Alameda High School where Melody was a high school student a few years ago. Yeah, no, it's special. It's wonderful having you here.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's see, who else? And yeah, our representation from, we're happy to have a group from Temple Sinai. We have Bob Unger, who you heard sing, and Laura Dilbar, and Tom and Maddie Fromson. Yeah, there you guys are. And these people, it's not accidental, I invited them. It's a wonderful synagogue, very supportive. These are some of the special people in my life who really touched me with their kindness and generosity. And they've gotten me doing things I was uncomfortable doing. I was bar mitzvahed back in the time when you did not read from the Torah. You did not chant from the Torah. You just did the Haftorah. Well, believe it or not, because of this religious committee, which has Maddie on it and Laura and so forth, I've now chanted from the Torah 20 times. I've learned that the Torah is kind of interesting. It's pretty, a lot of violence in the Torah. But I've actually chanted from the Torah, and it's truth, and I've given some sermonettes, maybe 3. So it's been very special being in touch with them and with the synagogue. We've already spoken about Bob Schoen. His wife Sharon does Mahjong with Sabina every Monday. And Bob and I, as we said, are very involved. And Catherine DeQueer and Peter, it's just a joy having them in my life too. So I'm going to do 2 songs. I'm going to join the band for 2 songs. These are songs from when Sabina and I, in those 17 days, were courting on the Stanford campus. It was back in the days where they had a regular lake. Sabina and I would meet and go rowing. Remember the lake, Lily? We would get an oar, we'd get a couple oars, and we'd be rowing at noon on the lake. And in the evenings, for 17 days, we were recording on campus. And we sang to each other 2 songs. One was by Johnny Mathis at the time. That was the version we liked, Moonlight Becomes You. And I'm going to do that with the band. And Catherine's I'm going to have her sing it first so you hear the words. And then I'll do the trumpet because it's a beautiful song. And then the other one was the song that Sinatra popularized, The Way You Look Tonight. And both of them are really, they were very meaningful at that time. And when I hear them now, I think of our courtship and our wonderful relationship. So here you go. I'll take a second. I think it's good. We start.
Moonlight becomes you, it goes with your hair. You certainly know the right things to wear. Moonlight becomes you, I'm thrilled at the sight, and I could get so romantic tonight. You're all dressed up to go dreaming. Now don't you tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming. Mind if I tag along? If I say I love you, I want you to know it's not just because there's moonlight, although moonlight becomes you so. Moonlight becomes you, I'm thrilled at the sight, and I could get so romantic tonight.
various versions, like Andy Williams does a version, but it's so slow. I really like the one by Johnny Mathis. Okay.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you just the way you look tonight. With each smile your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
Get the mic.
Deborah's husband Nor just arrived. Wanted to welcome. Thank you so much for coming. They just got back from Portugal and really appreciate your being here.
You know, it's been about me. There's been a lot about me and my fortitude and ability to meet obstacles. Noor and and Deborah had an incredible setup up there in the forests. What was is the actual town area?
Healdsburg in Sonoma County.
Yeah, in Sonoma County, and they were hit by that terrible fire, and everything was destroyed. Everything they had. They had a greeting place, they had a retreat center. So they've regrouped, and they're still fixing that area up, and they're looking to Portugal as a place to set up a new center.